to Mr. Stephen Forrest. How you doing today, Stephen?
Pretty good.
All right. Now tell me, what school do you go to?
I go to Sherwood Forest.
And what grade are you in?
5th.
Okay. And how old are you?
10.
Okay. Now tell me, what book do you have for us today?
I have Found by Margaret Peterson Haddix.
Okay, that's the airplane book. All right. Yeah, I've heard about that book. That's a pretty neat book, isn't it? It's pretty intriguing. What type of book is that?
It's kind of historical fiction. The first one is not that much, but the other books in the series are.
Okay. Could you give me like a quick summary of Found?
Well, the main character is Jonah, and he's this kid that gets adopted, and his best friend, he finds out that his best friend is also adopted, and there are these people who can disappear and appear at will, and then they go on these adventures together, like back in time and stuff.
Wow. That's pretty neat, ain't it? Mm-hmm. Okay, now tell me, who was your favorite character?
I think Jonah was my favorite character.
June? Oh, okay. Now, would you recommend that book to your classmates?
I would.
I wonder, did they make a movie about that book?
I think they did, but I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, it'd make a good movie though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, now let me ask you one more question. Like, reading books in your spare time, how does that help you with your classwork? When it comes to taking tests and knowing words?
I guess I just read new words in these books, and then I just know their meanings, and then makes the test a little bit easier.
Yeah, always does, doesn't it? Okay, well, I'm going to get you to read a couple of pages for me from Found, okay?
At the bend in the ramp, Angela looked around the corner. She had a limited view, but caught a quick glimpse of a flight attendant's little galley with neatly stowed drink carts. Obviously, the jet door was standing wide open. She started to turn around, already beginning to debate with herself about whether she should report this information to Monique. Then she heard, "What? A whimper? A cry?" Angela couldn't exactly identify the sound, but it was enough to pull her down the jetway. New sky, trails, employee safe, passenger on first day, she thought to herself, imagining the praise and congratulations, and maybe the raise she'd be sure to receive if what she was visualizing was real. She'd learned CPR in the orientation session. She knew basic first aid. She knew where every emergency phone in the airport was located. She started walking faster, then running. On the side of the jet, she was surprised to see a strange insignia. Tachyon Travel, it said, some airline Angela had never heard of. Was that a private charter company, maybe? And then, while she was staring at it, the word suddenly changed into the familiar wing in the cloud symbol of sky trails. Angela blinked. That couldn't have happened, she told herself. It was just an optical illusion, just because I was running, just because I'm worried about whoever made that cry or whimper. Angela stepped onto the plane. She turned her head, first to the left, looking into the cockpit. The door also stood open, but the small space was empty, the instruments dark. "Hello?" Angela called, looking to the right now, expecting to see some flight attendant with perfectly applied makeup, or some flight attendant and a pilot bent over a prone passenger, maybe an old man suddenly struck down by a heart attack or stroke. Or at the very least, passengers crowding the aisle, clutching laptops and stuffed animals brought from faraway grandparents' homes, overtired toddlers crying, fragile old women calling out to taller men, "Could you pull my luggage down from from the overhead for me? It's that red suitcase over there." But the aisle of this airplane was as empty and silent as its cockpit. Angela could see all the way to the back of the plane, and not a single person stood in her view. Not a single voice answered. Only then did Angela drop her gaze to the passenger seats. They stretched back 12 rows, with 2 seats per row on the left side of the aisle and 1 each on the right. She stepped forward, peering at all of them. 36 seats on this plane, and every single one of them was full. Each seat contained a baby.
I tell you that's funny how that plane was empty and then poof, all of a sudden you got a plane full of babies. That's a very interesting book. And I want to thank you for that, Stephen.